This video will help to introduce section 4-4 called Cpctc. Let's start with example 1. We have a picture that we are trying to prove that segment KB is congruent to segment AC. First, let's get started with our givens. Angle KBC is congruent to angle ACB, which has been marked with arc marks at their vertices, B being the vertice of the first one and C being the vertice of the second, with one single arc mark. And angle K is congruent to angle A with two arc marks, and these are given. There's no more given, so I look to my picture. I am no longer looking for an angle, because if I had three angles, that would be by angle, 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 and that is not a valid way to prove triangles congruent. So we are looking for a side. When I look at my picture, I notice that BC is in both the top triangle and the bottom triangle. So BC is congruent to CB because it's reflexive. Next, I have two angles and a side, so my triangles are congruent. And my triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side. Because the side is not between the angles, this is not angle, side, angle, but angle, angle, side. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle KCB by angle, angle, side. Now everything up to here got our triangles congruent. Now since our triangles are congruent, we know from section 4-1 that the remaining three pieces are now congruent, and those are called our corresponding parts. So we'll use what's called Cpctc, which stands for corresponding parts. Notice the capital letters, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So the remaining pieces that are congruent are these up here that are not marked. And those are angles KCB, ABC, KB congruent to AC, and finally KC congruent to AB. So I am trying to prove what? Well, let's go back up here. I'm trying to prove that KB is congruent to AC. So that is my next step in my proof. And I know that because of Cpctc. You will notice a pattern once you always get triangles congruent, that CPC always follows triangles congruent. Notice everything below the green bar is everything we already know is congruent, or that we now know are congruent because of congruent triangles. We could have taken this guy out and replaced it with this guy, but that's not what we're trying to prove. The only reason I'm using KC is congruent to AB is because that is what we were trying to prove overall. So everything in your homework will be proving triangles congruent, and then always adding in Cpctc after that. And the things that are not marked in your picture are the things that you are going for. Now please do the assignment for 4-4.